Gaffer, we see these results in the FA Cup. It can always happen. What's your initial response to the 2-2 draw?
We explained to the players they were a good team. They carried a lot of momentum when we had that sending off, which was disappointing. And at 2-0 up, you think everything's going to go okay. And I think that's the magic of the FA Cup and how quick a game can change. I thought the group had to remain strong. I think it was 50-odd minutes that we were down to 10 men. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be difficult. And I thought we had to make sure we stood strong together.
Obviously, Kevin Dawson picked up his first yellow card in the first half. Did you have to have a conversation with him at half-time? What was the thinking, really?
I think, the way Kev plays, there was always that risk, should I have taken him off? But I've tried to give the players a little bit of trust and take ownership of their own responsibilities. And we spoke to him at half-time, and I think in hindsight I perhaps wouldn't do that again with Kev being the way Kev plays. Having said that, he's been a lot of games where Kev's been very effective, so I've got to be careful at the same time setting the discipline within the group. All I can say is that the group stood strong and were very resilient to make sure that we gives us another opportunity to play against them again.
So most red cards obviously always disappointing, but was it more disappointing the fact it was only a couple of minutes after you went 2-0 up?
I think it is disappointing, really, when you look at the manner of it, especially when you know you've had that conversation before. And I think, the boys, he owes the boys a big one to make sure that the club have got another opportunity to get through to the next round.
Obviously, people will look at the result and see Yeovil gone from 2-0 up to 2-2, but it really was a resolute defensive display in the end to make sure that we're in the hat for the next round.
It was. I've played in many of them games, and those games have always been the difficult games. All I can say is we got another opportunity. I thought the supporters stuck by the players today, and they know the journey of the FA Cup is never easy. And we've got to make sure that the players know their roles and responsibilities when they play them next time.
Just how hard is it to play when you've only got 10 men? Obviously, the obvious thing is you've got one man less, but how much more challenging is it than that?
I think it's difficult because you've got to cover more distance. But having said that, I have to take my hat off to them because they worked their socks off, and we knew that. They work very hard together. They've got some good individual players, and I thought they took their goals well. And fair play to them because where they've come from and in a short space of time it's been a fantastic achievement. All I can say is I made my players aware of that today. There was a lot of individuals that have not been on the end of a defeat against an FA Cup game, which can always be a banana skin. They've never been involved in that. So I made it clear today that I didn't want that to happen. But it's one of them games where you have to make sure the players gain from that experience, and they certainly be ready for the next game.
They'll also have to be ready for the FA Cup replay because going to Dampson Park where Solihull play, they'll be right up for an upset.
They will do, and watching the game last night, Swindon versus Eastleigh wasn't an easy game for Swindon, and it won't be an easy game. No game against a team that's carrying that momentum and confidence as to where the climb that they've had in such a short space of time was never going to be easy. All I can say is that we've got another opportunity after going a man down after 50 odd minutes to go again and play them.